This video is to review the warm-up problems that you just completed. The first one was solving this system of equations using elimination. This is a pretty straightforward elimination problem because we already have both equations written in standard form, and we see that negative 6x and 6x are opposites. So we're ready at this point to add down in order to solve the system by elimination. So the first thing I did was add my negative 6x and 6x together, which will give me 0, so that variable term was eliminated. Then I add my 5y and 4y to get 9y. I add 21 and 60 to get 81, and then I'm just solving the equation 9y equals 81. Once I find the value for y, I need to plug that in to either of my original equations in order to find the value for x. I chose to plug into the second equation, just looked a little bit easier since it didn't have the negative. And you can see my work for plugging in 9. I wound up getting that x equals 4. So the solution to my equation is the point where x equals 4 and y equals 9, which we write as the point 4, 9. The second equation in your warm-up was solving this system down here by substitution. This is a pretty straightforward substitution problem because we already have the first equation written in y equals 4. Or in other words, we already have this variable solved for here, so we're ready to substitute the negative 2x plus 1 in place of the y in the second equation. So you can see that I have substituted the negative 2x plus 1 in place of the y in the second equation. Everything else is exactly the same. I need to distribute my 3 and solve this equation, which I know that I can do because at this point I only have x's in my equation. So the rest of this work here on the left is just solving for x. I wind up getting that x equals negative 1. I'm going to take that negative 1 now because I know my solution is going to be a point. So I need to plug negative 1 into one of my original equations in order to find y. I plugged into the first equation because it looked a little bit easier. So I'm plugging my value of negative 1 in place of the x here. You can see that I wind up getting 3 for y, which tells me that my solution to the second problem is the point negative 1, 3. So that tells us if these two lines were graphed, that is the point where their lines would cross. So that's it for the 2-problem warm-up.